Hello, I'm doing a series of videos where I'm explaining the armor of God. This is a reference to in the Bible, the book of Ephesians chapter 6. The Apostle Paul tells us that we're in a battle against an unseen enemy, the devil, and he uses the analogy of a Roman soldier's armor to tell us how we can protect ourselves in this battle. So right now I want to talk about the shield of faith. He tells us to take up the shield of faith to protect ourselves against the fiery arrows of the enemy, the fiery darts of the enemy. A Roman soldier's shield was about 4.5 feet tall, and he could stand behind this shield and protect himself against all attack. Arrows were often shot at a distance. The Romans and others would shoot many arrows. They had contraptions that would launch arrows, and they had archers that would launch arrows. The goal was that even when the opponent was far away, they could take a lot of them out before they even got to the battle. So the shield of faith is telling us that we need to stand behind our faith for protection. We need to have faith in our salvation, faith that we are saved by Jesus Christ when the enemy attacks us. You see, the enemy is going to attack us with fiery arrows of distraction, fiery arrows of doubt, fiery arrows of temptation, fiery arrows of unbelief, fiery arrows of lies. So it's going to try to distract us with the media, with our job, with disputes with family and co-workers. It's going to try to distract us so that we can't do the work of the kingdom. He'll try to distract us with doubt. If you're doubting if you're even saved, doubting your salvation, then you're going to be ineffective in the fight against the enemy. If you're doubting that God exists, then the enemy doesn't even have to worry about you because he's taken you out before you've even got to the battle. So we need to have faith, and we need to stand behind our faith. It's part of our protection. This is how we fight against the enemy, having faith and being strong and standing sound in our faith. Another interesting thing about the shields that the soldiers had was that it protected the enemy. There was a time when if the arrows came flying, the commander would yell out, "Testudo," which means tortoise. And the soldiers would put their shields down, but they would interlock them one next to the other, creating a border. The first row of soldiers. The second row of soldiers would put their shield on top and so forth back. And then those on the side would put their shields there. And so you had a barrier protecting you against the enemy. So what that tells us is that we need to be in community with other people of faith and community of other believers so that when our faith is weak, we can stand behind their faith as protection. There's a story where the friends of a paralyzed man lowered him through the roof as Jesus was teaching, hoping that the man could be healed. Jesus forgave the man's sins and healed him. But the interesting thing is that Jesus says, because of their faith, your sins are forgiven and you are healed. So it's because of their faith, because of the man's friend's faith, he was healed. So if we want to be in community with those of faith, those others of faith, so that if our faith is ever weak, we can have others who can stand with us. We don't want to be unequally yoked. So we want to have a shield of faith to protect us against the attack of the enemy, that could protect us and keep us strong and not having doubt, not yielding to temptation, not having unbelief. And we also want to be in a community of believers so we can stand behind our faith. So take up the shield of faith.